Hey everyone, Joe Menza here, and everyone wants to know the secret. What is the secret to good watercolor painting? Well, is there a secret, or are there many secrets, or is there one key secret that you're missing? Well, the fact of the matter is that there are several factors that you're missing, and one of those factors is time spent and experience, but the other one is casual painting. When you start to paint in a more carefree manner and paint more loosely, in other words, you paint like you don't care, but yet you really do. So you say you just haphazardly throw strokes down like this. And I get people all the time and say, oh, you make it look easy. Well, I'm painting very easily because I kind of have knowledge as to what I can get away with and what I can do. So let me just tack this down a little bit better. I'm at work taking a break, and I thought I would do a little bit of painting here. And let's see, I got plenty of clips. Let's see. I'll throw another clip in here to hold that down. So I don't know what paper this is. This is like a 90 pound. It's very thin. And I think a lot of times I use stuff, it's like, I'm not going to use the best paper that you could possibly buy. Of course, if you were, painting for yourself, you're trying to win awards or whatever it is you're trying to do, you might want to use the best of the best. So when I paint these and I say, well, let's let it cockle up, this is going to happen to you. I could paint, and I could paint in a perfect manner, but what do you do when this happens to you? People say, well, how come your paper doesn't cockle up or whatever? Well, look at it. I had one guy tell me, he says, Tess, it's terrible of you to show. You're supposed to be teaching beginners. Well, I'm not really supposed to be doing anything because this is just for my fun and inspiration and inspire other people. So there's no supposed to about it. So for me, this is just fun, and hopefully I inspire some people, and you see what I do right, what I do wrong, and you learn from it. So notice the haphazardness about it. I just put some water on the brush that happens to be dirty, and I'll make a sort of vignette out of this. I won't use up the whole paper. We'll use the center. So a lot of times I like to start with like a yellow ochre, and I'll just throw some brush strokes in there. I never know what I'm going to do. I just know that yellow is a good binder of a color, and I'll just throw paint. Notice people want to say, I want to see you mix your colors. There's no real mystery about it. Is if I take some blue and I mix it with some Payne's gray, I don't do a lot of mixing. I mean, I could do some here on my board, or on this thing. You can over mix things. I don't really mix that much. What I tend to do is I grab a little color here and a little color here, and I rarely use these things unless I'm really trying to get a specific color. But I do more mixing on my board now. So if I want to make greens, I'll dip into the yellow, I'll dip into the blue, I'll dip into the Payne's gray, and I'll see it on here. But there's really not a lot of paint movement. So let's keep going here with this idea. We all know skies can be blue, they could be yellow, they could be orange. So, I mean, you could put some blues in here. This could be your sky. Let me get this whole thing in frame. And the nature of this is fast and loose. This is the fast and loose movement, more or less pioneered by Ron Ranson. So, and that's why we use this brush, because you can't get details out of this brush. You can only go so far. So that's why we use the Hake brush. So when we take and we say, well, we're making a sky, right? We're going to make a sky. Not bad. Maybe we'll get some light in there. I like to hit it with the spray bottle. And then I'll bash it with a cloth, you know? I'll let it run. Let it run. Let this paint do some work for me. Put in some more of the yellow. Put in some more of the blue. I don't know what this is yet. I really don't. I don't have, you know, they used to say Bob Ross had like, he did a painting and he had it off the screen. I don't even have an idea. I just kind of start going with something and I start to see, hey, this looks a little like cloud-like in here. Maybe I can build upon that and hit it with this cloth, and now I got a sky going, you know? So that's what I try to tell you, is just this is have fun. It's therapy. Just hit it with some paint. Grab some blue. Grab some blue. Look at it. Some clouds are starting to come into view here. A double cloud. Maybe you want to carry that out a little bit more. Taking this, I like these microfiber cloths. We don't want to do too much more with that. Look at, we have interesting little cloud formation going on now. We can even hit a little bit of gray and put a little gray in, some gray starting up. Had someone tell me, I like the painting, but I didn't like the gray sky. And that's okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like what I do. You can change it for yourself. That's the whole point of it. Look, I'm going to blend this in with my... I want you to see, because when I first started doing this, I didn't really realize how flexible this medium... I thought you painted it, that's it. I can't do any more. I don't know why I thought that. I thought I can't make any changes, and then I started getting frustrated, so I started playing with fixing things. And that's what really kind of drove me to... like, see how far I could push it. And I'm constantly like pushing the limits to see how far this medium can go. And maybe it's not like the most right way to paint, I guess, watercolor. I don't know if there is such a thing, but I mean, I'm having fun, and I hope you are too. So look at that, what we have now. Let me pick up the camera. So we've got this interesting little cloud formation. That's going to dry. We have to trust that it's going to dry, the drying process. We have to trust that that's going to dry. So now we have this cloud formation. What do we want to put in here? What? And again, I do more drastic things on my Patreon channel. I do more this. We stick more with this basic, what we call the Ron Ranson palette: blue, yellow, Payne's gray, alizarin crimson, light red, burnt umber, and like a raw sienna. We use I have a couple of different yellows on there depending on what I want to do, and maybe burnt sienna, and I got a Van Dyke brown here in the middle in case I want to go a little darker with things. So we look at this and then we say, well, what can we do? We'll put some trees in. I mean, what are you going to do with the landscape? There's trees, hills, you know, so you start thinking what comes to mind. Well, maybe a little bit of a hill coming down right here. This is where you just make it up as you go along, you know. You just add a little yellow and a little, you know, tap that in there maybe. And maybe, you know, we'll get some trees going here. I don't know how it's going to look in the end, but I know based on other things I've done. Here, we'll put another tree over there. See? Now we got almost like a whole row of trees. See? Coming down. I kind of like that. It's look at off of the darkness off of those trees, off of those clouds, which we don't want to cover. We don't want to cover any of this light. So maybe we try to be a little more geometric. You know, we could put, you know, some other hills over here. We could have this kind of come down, and we'll put some Payne's gray, and we'll mix in here. You guys, I know you just want to see my mixing, but you know, just dip a little Payne's gray, a little. You don't. This is not something we're going to spend all day doing. This isn't meant to be frustrating. Look at it, put a little brown in there, I don't know. Just to get the color that you want, and work this down. And look, put some more trees in there. Look at that. Just a few other little trees out here. I like that color. Look at that. Look at that. Let me see. I don't know if I'm really getting the accuracy of it, but I like all this that's happening, and I like this little fainted things. I didn't like work to get that. I didn't where you see me what I'm doing right here. I didn't try that hard to do that. I just put it in there, and that's what I got. So that's what I'm. Let it happen. Let it happen. Look, these almost looks like fence posts or something. You can. I don't have. You know, I don't have a rigger brush. Isn't that something? I don't have a rigger brush here at work. I should. So I mean, we could fill this in with more greens. I don't want to cover up a lot of this stuff. I think a lot of this stuff is great for the like grassy areas. So I'm just gonna scrape some in. I'm just gonna do it. You can take your big brush. You know, you don't want to spend that kind of time, and just sweeps of the brush. Just kind of let it happen. And if you say, well, I want to get a little effect over here, I mean, I could give it a little spray. Let the droplets come out. See, let me show you. Look at that. Is that cool or what? I mean, that to me is the excitement of it all. And let some things run. Leave a little white in there, you know, as you're going along. Leave a little bit of white. And then just kind of let it run down. And maybe we'll put a little bit of blue and Payne's gray in here. And we'll just put this across. And maybe some distant guys back in there. I don't know why. I just did look at it and I go, that look kind of cool. So we'll let this just happen. And really, it's a nice treescape. And the important thing here is, just to remember, is one of the things I'm looking for, actively looking for, is I'm looking for light and dark contrast. The things that are going to catch your eye. So if anything, yes, I'm going from imagination, but I'm using a little previous knowledge. So I'm cheating with my previous knowledge, and I'm saying, okay, let's look at this. We got this light here, and we got this dark here. This is the thing that's going to catch your eye. And then we have dark here, okay? And then back to the light again. Those are the things that are really going to make your painting an eye catcher. So I want to watch that. And we got this coming back here, and then in through the weeds, maybe we put some more grass. Who knows? But this is casual painting at its finest. This is you just going, let me see what happens. I'm creating. Someone asked me what a Rorschach test was. I threw that out there. If you've ever seen those ink blot tests that they give you for psychology, and you have to figure out until everybody sees something different. That's what this is. This is the ultimate Rorschach test. I'm going to make this just a little bit darker. And we have all these colors playing off. Look at now. I could leave this right now. I could literally leave this right now, and we have a painting. So look at this. This could be the end of it. And then I look at it and I go, well, look at this here. Let's bring this tree up a little bit more because there's some white I could contrast it against. And I could bring this tree up just a little bit higher so that makes a little more sense. And so we sit back and we say, well, what can we do here? So we look at that, and maybe this guy's leaning a little weirdly. I don't like that. And then I say, well, this guy looks a little maybe skinny. Fatten him up. Give him a little more to eat. And then I take and I maybe make that a little bit higher. All the while, we're not touching this area here, but we are creating elements of light and dark. We'll just tap. We're just tapping. Taking advantage of the bristles of the brush. Tap, tap, tap. I heard that somewhere. Where did I hear that? First person to answer in the comments wins the internet for the day. Tap, tap, tap. And I just think, I don't know, I'm going to leave this for now. See, I was saying vignette because this is curled up over the top, so they're thinking, you get this. Actually, there should be a little bit more on each side, but that's it. I'm going to leave it right there. I thank you guys for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments. And I thank you, as always, for your support. Join me on Patreon. Check out my eBay shop. I try to put new paintings in all the time. And thank you again. And everybody, good luck on your painting. Okay, so here is the finished painting in a matte. Let's zoom in. Now, one thing I note is that it's perfectly possible that somebody might mistake these because of their pointy shape for mountains in the background. That's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as they see a painting they like, I'm fine with it. Let's look at, see the splashing of the water. I love when this happens, when you have these little effects that all happen in here. It's just like a lot of neat little things. I mean, who knows? Remember, I was going to make this into a fence, and then I just left it. Just like little grasses sticking up or something. And we just have, just to zoom in and see how all those colors kind of blended together. Look, this could be some weird kind of little bush. Who knows? Here's those trees and how they stand up against the light. This here got a little carried away with the water. This here I would eliminate if I had the choice of it. But overall, zoom back. It wasn't as vignetted as I would have liked, but probably because I was painting on an angle. But that's the finished painting, and I enjoyed doing it. Thanks again for watching, everybody.